Well, Indiana's tight housing market is a challenge not just in cities, but also rural parts of the state. Orange County's largest employer, French Lick Resorts, is building more than 70 homes to help with the area's housing shortage. The development is in its beginning stages, but some residents have already moved in. WTIU reports.
Home construction surrounds Springs Valley Elementary School teacher Katie Pierce, who moved into her new house in West Baden Springs just 3 weeks ago. Hers is one of the first to be built by French Lick Resort. Pierce is from Orange County and wanted the opportunity to come back and work. She'd been shopping for places without much luck.
Really, if you were going to buy a home here, you had to buy a fixer-upper. And even those fixer-uppers were going to be, $80,000 to $100,000.
In Orange County, the median home listing price is $174,000, cheaper than the state's median, which is $219,000. But the county's 12% poverty rate is higher than the state's 9%. And nearly 20% of Orange County's housing was built before 1940, which isn't unusual for Indiana's rural areas. She didn't want to sink money into home repairs. Her realtor suggested she take a look at the houses French Lick Resort was working on.
So I drove by that same night that he had mentioned it, and there was an open house. So I called my mom. I was like, "Hey Mom, let's go look at this open house." And so we stopped. Crystal Painter had given me a folder, and I was able to apply that night. I got my mortgage pre-approved online, had the application sent over, and was ready to roll that same night that I went and looked at the house.
Cook Group is the parent company of the French Lick Resort. Anyone can apply to live in the homes so long as they're employed locally. Crystal Painter says it's the first development to come up in the community in more than 60 years.
I think that's just something you're going to find in rural America, unfortunately. The towns have been built out, and then we have farmland and acreage that is owned by people that maybe weren't so willing to sell that land. But as things are changing and town is growing and our county is growing, I think those conversations are starting to happen.
Her organization has been acting as the realtor for the homes and helps match buyers with local lenders. The houses will vary a little in size, but will all have 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a 2-car garage, going for $155,000.
I think the short-term impact is getting our existing community into stable and secure housing that they can be proud of and grow their families in. I think long-term, it's going to be a good recruitment tool for our employers.
The money made selling one house gets invested into building the next one, and so on. According to the Indiana Housing Authority, for every 100 new jobs created, only 28 new housing units are built. That compares to 56 new units nationally. Chuck Franz says that aligns with feedback the company got from its employees, who said finding local housing was next to impossible.
I mean, you're hearing this from your existing employees, but think about recruitment. When you're trying to recruit talent, maybe in our case, culinary talent from Louisville, or hospitality people graduating from Purdue or Indiana University, if they can't find a place to live down here, well, they're going to look elsewhere.
A Regional Opportunities Initiative study examining the housing conditions in the region shows that an increasing number of residents in its 11-county area of study are commuting out for work. Franz says continuing development in the area will take infrastructure support like roads and sewers that he doesn't have the authority to build on his own. They plan to build another, smaller development in French Lick near the resort. Pierce says now that she's moved in, she's ready to root herself in the community and develop her professional life. She says without this opportunity, she'd be renting somewhere or living with her parents looking for a place.
So living here now is so surreal. Like some days I'm like, oh, I have a house.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm WTIU.
Cook Group is planning a similar development with 300 units for Owen County, with construction starting as early as this fall.